that's a hard one because people don't want to. They don't want to think about that stuff.
I don't.
And I was working with one of our graphic designers on some new stuff, and I pulled up a poster I did for a seminar in Las Vegas last year, and the title across the top was "Rape Safe." And I looked at it, and maybe I'm just getting older, maybe a little smarter. I said, "What a freaking horrible name!" The first thing somebody says is rape. You know, like that's the first thing they see is rape, and just the negative connotation. And I said, you know, that's you got to be. You know, especially also, you know, audiences are so much more sophisticated and inundated, whether it's from Twitter, from Facebook, from advertising, the way you know, the way the world, the speed that the world functions at right now. You can't use conventional, you know, language, lingo, and methodologies to get people's attention and get them to make decisions. So it's kind of tricky, but it reminds me of something that happened years ago. I mean, I was out in LA, and it was I was taking a red-eye flight back, and real excited that nobody was sitting beside me, and had my book out and my magazines out. And the last minute, a flight attendant not working the flight jumps on. She's going to jump seat and hop on a free seat, and she sits down beside me, and I got to move all my shit. And I'm thinking, I hate red-eye flights, but it was the only flight I could get out, and she's all like wired. She's like, because she was waiting. Okay, go, you can get it. Boom. She runs in there, and she's like chatting. Oh, like, hey, oh, hi, how are you? And she turns to me, Mike, and she says, so I'm a flight attendant. I didn't think I was going to have a flight. And she's looking like a hummingbird. And I'm like, oh my gosh, she's going to talk for like 8 hours, you know, and the flight's only 6 hours. It's going to kill me. So, so she says, so what do you do? So I'm thinking, okay, I'm about to take off on a flight. I'm going to tell her something that nobody wants to talk about just before you take off on a flight. And I tell her I'm a life insurance salesman.
Right.
And she looks me up and down, and she says, don't scam me. You're not a life insurance salesman. I can tell. And I said, okay, you got me. I'm not a life insurance salesman. I'm a life extension insurance salesman. And she kind of like rolls her eyes like you did. Like, what did he say? You know, life extension insurance. What is that? I said, I teach self-defense. She goes, oh my God, I always wanted to learn how to defend myself. And I said, no, you didn't. And she looks at me like, now she's getting pissed off. Like, you know, don't put words in my mouth. And I go, I think what you meant to say is you always wanted to know how to never be near a situation where you might have to defend yourself. And she goes, say that again. I said, I think what you meant to say is you always wanted to know how to never be near a situation where you might have to defend yourself. Yeah. She goes, oh my God, yeah. I said, because if you really wanted to defend yourself, learn how to defend yourself, you learned it. You tell me you have a 5th-degree black belt. You have your own school. So she goes, oh my God, you're right. And I realize that more and more as people say, God, I got to learn how to defend myself, or I got to learn more about safety, or I got to do that, but then they don't. And they put it off because if you're not just like some turnkey panacea solution self-defense, and you're actually going to say to somebody once you have their attention, look, there's some scary shit we got to talk about, and because you got to be there. My favorite word is indignation. You got to be, how fucking dare you attack me or my family? And if you don't have that, then you're going to throw a palm strike or a shin kick or a knee or fumble for your mace with trepidation and fear of the outcome. And I've said to women in seminars, like, you know, women's only seminar, and they go, hey, what do I do if my estranged husband, estranged boyfriend, this abusive so-and-so does this to me? And I always stop them, and before I even give them a complex motor skill answer, I look at them and I go, are you prepared to kill him tonight? And they go, I beg your pardon? I go, you prepared to, like, kill this person? Like, if this goes really south really fast, how far are you prepared to take this? And they're like, I go, because if you can't visualize that happening, and you think I'm going to do like 3 pounds pressure on your radial nerve, and then grab your 3rd metacarpal bone and drive your pinky back to your elbow and step to 3 o'clock and get you on the, you know, forget it. This is serious shit, you know. And if you can't see yourself taking this to a high level, then the move I'm about to show you isn't going to work. I can tell you that right now. And then we come back to, what do we talk about? I don't forget, there was 2 or 3 questions, all mindset and fear management. So, you know, when I'm talking to women, I train trainers, so my problem is less severe than yours. You know, you're the guy that's got the tougher job than I have right now. Somehow my path has taken me where I train trainers and I give them tools and I give them goals and I give them, how do you do a ballistic microfight? How do you set up a scenario? How do you reverse engineer something from the news? How do you train your role play? How do I use the high gear to do this? You know, give me some more material for my private students or for my seminars, and that's our personal defense readiness course. So I don't have to deal with, and I did it for 15, 20 years, people going, I wouldn't do that in the class. I'm not going to do that. I'm not, you know. So I don't have a simple answer for you because my career path changed. At the end of the day, you know, you have somebody who's a rape victim who will never take self-defense even though they should because it's cathartic and it might save them. Then you have somebody who's a rape victim who says, never again. Show me all the shit. Do you mind if I swear? Do you mind if I'm graphic? No, fucking tell me what I need to know because I will never let that happen to me again. You know, then you've got, you know, somebody who is silver spoon fed and thinks the world's a rosy place and they want to take that, you know, you ever see those ads that ever came out, you know, non-contact self-defense classes? Yeah. You're going like, how do you teach non-contact, you know, I don't understand that. So I'm a bit outspoken when it comes to that stuff. So I apologize. I don't have a good answer for you guys. You just got to tell the truth. The bottom line is this: there's gazillions of people, more people than you and I could ever teach. And what you got to do is find the right way to share your message, because, like the Field of Dreams metaphor, you know, you build it and they'll come to you. Right. You know, every instructor I ever meet at some point says, you know, you just can't make money teaching straightforward self-defense. You got to have the kids class. You got to have this class, this class. And I always let them finish, and I go, it's a good thing I never knew that. Yeah. Because I didn't do that. You know, you just got to find a way to without being a scumbag, without being deceptive, without being cheesy, without being manipulative, share your message. And if it's authentic and true, people are going to come and say, tell me more about that. So all of the above. Okay. You know, I'm a fan of any. You know, you could show me video of Nureyev and Baryshnikov doing stuff, and I'll go, holy shit! Look at that. You know, kinesthetic perception and body control there. I can't do that. Bill Wallace couldn't do that in his prime. What he's doing with his leg there. You know. So I'm a fan of any great athlete. I love boxing. It was just insane. Love boxing. Used to go work out every day with pro fighters. You know, for several years and get my head wrong. And MMA, I'm a huge fan. You know, I joke now, boxing, remember boxing? Was that the stance? You know, like, right. Because, but, you know, I've got a bunch of favorite boxers, and there was a while where I spent time with Sugar Ray Leonard a few times. I was friends with him. I wouldn't say friends, but acquaintance, where we got together a few times when he was 20, I was 24. He was fighting Duran and fighting, you know, the Tommy Hearns Duran era, and it was craziness. Just as a guy who, you know, grew up going, oh my God, you know, Bruce Lee. And then, you know, becoming friends with his son Brandon, and then doing stunt works and becoming friends with Robert Conrad, who was the original Wild Wild West. You know, when I was 16, Rocky launched, and next thing I know, I'm working on Rocky 5 with Tommy Morrison and hanging out with Stallone. And you think about that, it was kind of mind-boggling for me, because these are three huge icons from martial arts. Robert Conrad, who was a semi-pro boxer, who was a stuntman. He wasn't like a movie star. And Stallone is like a serious athlete. You know, I love the whole entertainment side, the hell MMA side, and all those guys. I mean, anybody who performs like that in front of people, because it's different. You know, you spar in your basement, you know, when you do amazing shit, and then, you know, you go to somebody's dojo or school and 3 people are watching you, and you throw a kick and fall. You know, so it's amazing what stress can do to you.